when you hear George Lopez say, if you can't take a joke, get the fuck out of here. What he's talking about are these two African-American females, who I assume are African-American, and him telling them, shut the F up, B, shut the F up, B, get the F out of here. And most of the attendees, who I assume are Latino, because that's his fan base, are cheering them on, egging them on. And to me, it really wasn't so much the joke, because you have some comedians who are what we consider black and brown. Yeah, I guess because he was just on a tour with Cedric the Entertainer, Eddie Griffin, and Charlie Murphy, if I'm not mistaken, because I was about to buy those tickets when they came to the Forum down here in LA. I digress. But he was saying something about a joke, as you heard, talking about two things that Mexicans don't do. They don't marry black, and they don't allow people to park in front of their house. So, with the first joke, there's truth in every little single joke. And when the first joke that he said was pretty much true. The second joke is pretty funny. But the first joke was actually true. A lot of Latino men do not like their nieces, daughters, sisters, whatever. They don't like them bringing home black people. That's a fact. I work around predominantly Latino men. These men are from Mexico. These men are from El Salvador. These men are from different Latin countries. And in my industry, the trash industry, there is a lot of Latinos who feel the same way that George Lopez do. This is not far-fetched from me. So him saying that really doesn't affect me, doesn't impact me really. It's just, hey, I see how you rocking, I see how you get down, but at the same time, I can understand where he's coming from, because there's a lot of guys on my job who would say the same thing to my face and tell me they wouldn't like no blacks getting down with their daughters, or what. They don't like that unless he's Kobe Bryant or Magic Johnson or something like that. That's the only people to get a pass. But other than that, nah, they don't get down like that. But where he messed up was when he started calling her bitch and going all into that. Because I just feel like bitch is a very disrespectful term. This is language that I never really use. Now, occasionally you might say some stuff in your head, or you might joke around with some guys or whatever. But I make it a thing to never really use that type of language, because when you use that type of language, it's just very disrespectful to me, because I have a daughter, I have a wife. Been very careful. I never ever have used that word in referring to my wife or any woman in general. It's a very disrespectful term in my books. It's disrespectful to call a man that. It's for damn sure disrespectful to call a woman that. Now they can call each other that if they're friends, if they're friendly enough, and that's the way they have that type of relationship. They like to call each other that. That's just, I guess, a sisterhood. That's what, if they like to do that, that's their private business. But I feel as a man, you should never ever stoop to that level of calling a woman a bitch. But then again, he's a comedian. He's doing comedy, right? But it's just a little too easy. I just don't like the disrespect of black women. There seems to be this de facto disrespect towards African American women. Maybe it's reality shows. Maybe it's because you see a lot of music videos, or the way black women are advertised, whether it's Housewives of Atlanta or Basketball Wives, reality shows. There's this thing where you could treat a black woman any kind of way because they feel, I guess, that's the stereotype of a black woman. Or I've been around black women, or I've seen how black women talk to each other. So maybe I could talk to them the same kind of way. And there was a very strong sense of misogyny in his whole get the F out of here. And then you could hear the Latinos kind of cheering him on and saying, hey, yeah, you told them, George. They're amped up. They're kind of hyping him up. Like, yeah, that's right. That's how you handle them hecklers. Because basically, I guess you could call them hecklers, but they didn't take that you don't marry blacks joke too seriously. I mean, they didn't take that joke as a funny. So they basically, they got up and they gave him the bird. They gave him the middle finger. So he said, oh, well, you don't like my show, then get out of there. Because first he told him, sit down. And then he's like, oh, yeah, you got to get out. And he kicked him out. So it was just very disrespectful. And then as a black man, I can't really rock with George Lopez as far as, I pretty much on a serious note, I can't really rock with him based on that. Based on him, the way that he said it. It came from a place where he meant it. And then when his people was hyping him up, it was like he became emboldened. So what he said is pretty much true. It's a lot of them, they don't like that. They don't like that mixed miscegenation. It's kind of like a lot of people, a lot of different cultures. If you're Italian, you meet a Jewish person, somebody in your family gonna say, "Oh no, man, we don't basically have Jews in our family, whatever." Or if you're African American and you try to date somebody that's Ethiopian or Eritrean, you might have people in their family, "Oh no, does he have money? Does he have a job? Does he go to school? Don't tell me he's another rapper or he's another," And so they have a view of, even Africans, people who are from the African diaspora, they look at African Americans like we're a joke. They even have special names that they call us, whereas it was disrespectful. So even Africans look at black Americans like we're a joke. So it's always like we're at the lower end of the totem pole. And when I listen to it, I'm just like, wow, there's this de facto disrespect towards African American women. Now, we had that last week with Salma Hayek. It was a lot more tame because they were doing it passive aggressive. George Lopez, what he did, it was just out there. And this is why we have to be careful when we say we have allies. Because in the end, we really don't have allies. We don't. We like to believe that we do, but almost all of these so-called people that we co-sign, some of these Muslim groups, some of these other groups that we protest for, this is what they think of us. It's cool to laugh at our Twitter jokes and retweet our memes and laugh and joke at our culture and watch the TV shows and make fun of us and, basically laugh at what we create and steal our swag or do whatever. But as far as actually taking you serious, it's like, nah, man, it ain't like that. We cool, we not cool like that. So this is why we have to be unified as a unit. And you'll never hear me say, oh yeah, black and brown, we're unified and we're fighting against the same system. We're going against, no, we're not. We all have different struggles. You see, I mean, that you guys have an identity. Most Mexican Americans or Mexicans that you talk to, they have a specific place in Mexico where they know they have grandfathers, grandmothers, or whatever in a specific town. They have an identity, they have a language, they have a culture. African Americans, we're pretty much ostracized from Africa. People in Africa don't take us serious. They look at us like a joke. You go to Africa and you got a dashiki on, they're looking at you like, what the hell is that? We don't even wear dashikis. They're like, I don't wear dashikis. We don't wear that out here. What are you doing? And they'll try to sell you stuff in their native land for a higher price. They look at you like a complete outsider. They think that we're all caricatures. They think that we're all like those Vines that they see. Now Vine shut down. Rest in peace to Vine. They think we're all world star hip hop. They think we're all these reality shows. They don't think that we're actual human beings. They think that we're characters. So not even Africans look at us seriously. So we're in a complete isolated struggle within America, the confines of America. And we're not really accepted by Africans. And we're not really accepted by the dominant society as well. Now the only ones who are acceptable are the ones who are like Barack Obama, like those who comply, who don't really speak out against white supremacy. That was one of the things that they liked about Barack Obama. He fed into that colorblind, he fell into that colorblind / white guilt type of thing. Because if you notice, a lot of people that were in the dominant society, they always said, hey, well, look, we voted for a black president. That was kind of like their, oh, we're giving black people reparations type of deal. Like, oh, that's giving, we gave you a black president, so that's kind of equivalent to us giving you reparations because we decided to give you your black president. But he never really did anything for the African American community except for represent a type of elite status that all African Americans should aspire to reach, whether it's black intelligence, black sophistication. He set the bar for that by being the president of the United States, but he walked a fine line of trying to be the president of the United States and not appearing too black, because a lot of people, when he became president, black people were so excited. White people had this fear that Barack Obama was just going to be over sympathetic to African Americans, but it really wasn't like that. He was very sympathetic to middle America and their needs. You know, poor whites, working class whites. He's very sympathetic to their needs. But as far as African Americans, not. I mean, hey, some people could say my brother's keeper, but I would argue that Steve Harvey's mentorship program has done more than that. My Brother's Keeper. And My Brother's Keeper was a program for people of color, which is another code word we need to disassociate with and say that, hey, we're black. We have our own isolated struggle. And I just went in a circle and came right back to saying, hey, black people need to recognize that this is a way that people think of us. They think of us as a joke. They don't take us serious. And it's really not that shocking to me, but it is shocking about the disrespect towards black women. And us as black men, we have to stop co-signing weirdo shit like this. Because I saw a lot of black men that were on Twitter and that were on just social media in general, like, oh, he's just telling jokes. What about Jay-Z, man? You know, Jay-Z says raps and he says this, and this rapper says this, and this rapper says that. And I believe Terrell had said something. Terrell from thecouchsports.com was mentioned, as he mentioned earlier, that people are more sensitive. And I'll put it to you like this. I think that we're at a place right now where we have the technology and the people have the power. Social media has the power to expose people. If social media was around when Michael Jordan was a basketball player, there would be a lot more controversy surrounding him. Him gambling, him doing things, him being an asshole. We would be like, wow, I can't believe this, because social media will put out a lot of the salacious scandal. Everybody has a camera nowadays. And also, more people are vocal. More people have a voice through social media. More people can, as before, say in the 90s, you had to actually write hate mail and mail it out. You can get a stamp and send it out to a person to let them know that you hate it. I mean, that was like the original troll, when you would actually sit down and write a letter and send it out to whoever it was. So in the 90s, they got legitimate trolls, legitimate death threats, and now everybody has a voice, and you hear everybody's opinion, whether it's good, bad, or terrible or awful. Everybody has their opinion, and a lot of more people are saying, hey, I'm not falling for the foolery. A lot of information's out here now, and people aren't going to take anything and accept anything that's being spoon-fed to them like you did in the 90s. A lot of people just accepted whatever the television told them. Now there's resistance to everything. Right now there's like an anti-media campaign. There's like everybody's picking and choosing sides. Oh, somebody's lying to us, somebody telling us the truth. But we have to use our own proper intuition and guidance to know what's real, what's fake. But that concludes the end of my show. I was going to go deep, but I felt I went long enough. This should be about 30 minutes damn near. But it's your boy, The Star. That concludes my show, and